Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in the Arsenal Let's Play on FM13, and this is how the league looks in February 2036. So we have recovered quite well, and we're pushing on now into the top half of the league, in a really far top half now, and we're only 4 points behind Man City, who have really become sort of now, as you can imagine, after winning the league last season, as the sort of big dominant force. The Liverpool monopoly when I was there is now well and truly over. So yeah, it's kind of cagey, but like their goal difference is just so much better. I mean, 16 goals conceded. We're in February, 16 goals. That's really not a whole lot. We surprisingly, it doesn't feel like we have plus 31. It doesn't feel like that. I don't know why. But yeah, you know, we're 1.1 goal clear of 1 point and 1 goal clear of United. So it is all still quite cagey in that top four. But you would have to say at this stage, unless there is some sort of absolutely horrible calamity, that we you know, are going to drop points. Drop out of the top four there, and you know, not get a Champions League spot, because that would be quite bad. Chelsea then in fifth, and then Lincoln City. I don't know what the hell has happened to what? How have they shot up here? I can't give a thing for that. I mean, promoted from the Championship. Obviously, I know they're back again. I mean, they got relegated a few years ago, and then they're back. But yeah, I don't know how that's happened. Fair play to them, though. I mean, they're in sixth currently. I don't know how long they're going to stay there for. Obviously, West Brom are in seventh, catching them up. Cardiff in eighth, and then Liverpool ninth. That is terrible. Okay, yes, they do have a game in hand, and they can move up to seventh, but would still be 3 points behind Lincoln City. That's kind of weird. And then the bottom three is Forest, who seemingly are already down, given the 6 point gap. Newcastle, Newcastle, Tottenham, Millwall occupy the rest of there. So what we're going to do now is go over some transfers, and we're going to just go over a few players like I've got rid of. For example, Marcel Niags, or Niag, I don't know, whatever you want to call him, has gone, and just basically releasing a lot of younger players. But the main ones I've brought in £58.5 million, and one of the big transfers I got rid of was Linus Johansson. I did not trust this guy. I've had him under my management previously at Brighton, and he was sold very, very quickly, as he is one hell, as you can see there. Look at that straight away. Only lasted the season. Awful, moaning prima donna son of a bitch. And okay, yes, I realised they brought him in for £39.5 million, but I've already talked about this before, how, you know, when I come in, the slate is clean. It doesn't matter how much they've spent on players. The slate is clean, and the club's profit, like, finances are fine. I realised that was not the best decision in the end, at the end of the day, but he was crap, and I'd rather bring in someone else. So then, well, we've got Mohar's gone to Sunderland. I'll come back to Abdullahi in a minute. The other one was getting rid of Dennis Vermeer. Not very good. I don't know why he was in the Arsenal team, to be honest. I thought he was terrible. Certainly not worth the £14 million. Managed to basically get most of my money back. I wasn't too disappointed. £1 million for a couple of years, not too bad, I suppose, as a rotation option. I've also got rid of Leon Wright, who's not good enough. He wanted first team football. He wasn't good enough. Had to play some absolutely shocking football at times. And the other one is I've got rid of what's it called? Beryl Civilek, not good enough. But the main one here, the reason why, you know, we've got 48 million, is most of it came from this guy, Adisa Abdullahi, who has gone to Man City, and he was very happy about it. Didn't think he was that good. He's a decent option and stuff. Like, I didn't want to sell him. I had no real sort of intention of selling him, but what happened was I just got bid out of the blue a few days before the transfer window ended, and from Real Madrid, who wanted him for 16 million. I was like, you know what, you can have him, but you can have it. Well, I'm putting the price up a little bit, so I put it up to 22 million, and they backed out of the deal. So I was like, okay, I offer them out then for 21 million. Since that was clearly the limit for most teams. I mean, maybe I could have squeezed another million or two out of him, but it didn't make a big deal either way. And I didn't think he was that good. Anyway, he's okay. You know, he's all right. Sorry, that wasn't at the end of the transfer deal. It was. Must have got my months mixed up. That was a month early. But yeah, they just sort of came in for him. Well, I guess at the start of the season, like literally before the games kicked off, is what I meant to say there. yeah, he was okay, but not worth 21 million. So I was quite happy to get him in there. So the players were brought in. First one is Kevin Woods, who has 5-star potential from Shamrock Rovers. He's only 16. He's a left back, but he can also play on the left mid, and he can also play at centre back. So he's reasonably versatile. Next one is Sebastian Moritz, a 17-year-old Austrian, plays as a winger and an attacking left midfielder. Another 5-star potential. Next one is Alan McDermott from Leeds. This one's a slightly risky one. I'm not sure how great he's going to be. He's got 2-star potential. I think the scouts are a little bit more lenient with their ratings this time. They're not going to say, like they're not going to be super harsh on them. But he's an option. He plays at right and left back, and if you can get that's ideal, because then you can play them both, and you've got both areas sorted. Next one is Brian Picard, who I'm going to call Captain. I don't watch Star Trek, but I have to. Well, the films are good. I'm really excited about the new film. But yeah, I'm going to call him Captain. he's on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. I thought he's got decent potential, or ability. I suppose it's ability now if you're 23. 3 stars, attacking left again. I'm quite excited by him. He looks decent. He will be decent, hopefully, for the team. Next one, 16-year-old Frenchman, 4.5-star potential. Was 5. I think that's gone down. Killian Morel. He's another one for the future. And another Woods. David Woods, 4.5-star potential. He's attacking right and left winger. He's German though, believe it or not. He's American German, which fair enough. He obviously was born in Germany, but even with a name like David Woods, very Germanic name there. Next one was a player from Real Madrid, 4-star potential, centre defensive midfielder called Eugene Cheng. Obviously there's a lot of Chinese players on this, since they are obviously going to take over the world and will be our supreme overlords by 2036, so this makes complete sense. Next one I brought in, the best expensive signing, is the wonderfully named Cristobal Rodriguez. He's currently injured, 4.5-star potential. He's only 21, so he's still got a bit of way to go. If you just look at his report real quick, his current ability is 2.5 stars. He can play on both the left and right side. Mainly brought him in as a right-sided player, but obviously the versatility of having him on the left is also very helpful. And then the greatest name of all time on Football Manager goes to Pius Sunday. That is without a doubt the single greatest name ever. 23-year-old Nigerian, paid £32 million for the most expensive player I've ever bought, or at least I've spent in what, like 30 odd years now, or 20 years playing this game. On the game, not actually playing Football Manager. I've spent way more. I spent £50 million on Marwan Shamak once on Champion. And don't laugh, it was when he was good on Championship Manager 4 or something. Yeah, and he was still shite, but still paid all that for him. He's a striker, but he can also play on the left and the right, attacking midfield. I just love him because of his name, but also because he's really good. 23-year-old Nigerian. Got a few Nigerians in this team. Then the next one is Nicola Vecchi, 3.5-star, another potential defender or centre midfielder. See how he goes, only young. Then is Danilo Fratanali, who is 4.5-star centre back. And then we have Diego Antonio, Brazilian, 28-year-old quality player. Don't let that 3-star potential ability fool you. He is an excellent player, very, very good. And lastly, from Duisburg, Moussa Faki, who is again 5-star potential, a right winger. So I'm really excited about the potential coming through. I've got a lot of kids as well already in the Arsenal team, so it is aging, but I had to bring in some of my own, and I did have a reasonably big budget to start with, so obviously to raise the funds there was just an added bonus, meaning I could be a little bit more silly with my spending, like I did with Rodriguez and Sunday. I would like to give a nickname to Pius Sunday, but it's like the most Christian name ever. I realise, Pontius Pilate isn't the most, glorified person in Christianity, but still, Pius. It's brilliant. Yeah, I think that's it. So we'll go over the fixtures then. How did we get to second place in the league? So we started, believe it or not, with Liverpool at home at the Emirates, and it was 3-0. Obviously, we played them. I'll go over the managers if I remember at the end, so I really do have the memory of a goldfish. So if I don't do it, then I apologise, but I'll try to remember. And Diego Antonio, as you can see, scoring on his debut. Superb start for him. Obviously, this is the season where I expect Van den Boeck to really, push on and get maybe 20 goals. Slimani obviously needs to perform there, the new number 7. But yeah, look at the new manager. He's cocked all the numbers up and everything. What Lopez was. Why is he now number 34? But it was a decent effort from Van den Bulk. And it was a tap in really for Diego Antonio. Debut goal for him, made up with that. Slimani, wonderful set piece taker, let me tell you now. He has got some right foot when it comes to a set piece, and a lovely ball in there. Picard also very good, retaining the favour for Slimani, who knocked out and getting his first goal for Arsenal. Yeah, he's been here for half a season, thanks last season, and he has his first goal. Also, if you look at the Liverpool players there, I just want to show you a new Liverpool player, one to look out for in the future. Is one called Vladimir Yaremeyev. He's 26. Guess how much they paid for him? £43 million. What's that about? I mean, don't get me wrong, how many goals he scored? He's not as if it's Fernando Torres or Andy Carroll we're talking about here. He's a good player, but is it really worth £43 million? Oh, that's silly. Well, yeah, there you go. It didn't matter anyways. He had a terrible debut. In terms of players staying in the team, obviously Barry Wallace has retired, I just want to point out. So too has Albert Kostrov, and so too has Yusuf Tage, who is now my assistant manager. And Fabio, the left back, is my director of football. Colin Lewin, who is without doubt one of the best physios on the game. You want to leave him if you do go to Arsenal for some reason. He's one of the best physios in the world. Leave him be. And I've just let this guy. He seems to be okay. He's from Birkenhead as well, so I can tease him about being a woolly back. Only kidding. I don't have a purple bin either, so don't worry. Only people from Liverpool understand a word of that. I'm sorry. But yeah, we move on. If it wants to go back to the fixtures, there we go. It's the next game, which was against West Brom. Incidentally, also just to point out there, I have not yet gone back to Anfield. Yet to do it since we played the home game, or the game at Anfield against Arsenal at the start of last season, like the first game. So yeah, I've yet to go back. I'll be doing that on the 1st of January, so New Year's Day. Then the West Brom, Nabil Slimani scored again. Ronnie Thomas, there's another one for you, a centre-back, also right-back, 19 years old. He was 18 at the time when he scored. Good potential, 3-star, quite happy with him. Isn't that a proper Cockney name, innit? He's well, I don't think Cockney say in it, but yeah. That was a terrible accent, but I can usually do it, but I'm not going to now because I'm on mic and I'll cock it up somehow. But yeah, Slimani scoring for the second game in a row. Pi Sunday also scoring his first goal. May have been a debut goal, I'm not sure. But Ronnie Thomas there, product of the Youth Academy, scoring his first goal for Arsenal. Really good stuff from him. And then, what was it saying about Slimani? Oh, what a goal. What a goal. Superb free kick. There's Ian Lay, a very, very, very pacey player. I'm actually really unsure whether to ever play him. He can play on the right and in the centre now. You know, I can really use him on the wings and, you know, bring real terms to the tactic name wing abuse, since he has just insane speed stats or just speed performance, I guess. But he can also play in the centre, and he's very effective. But look at this for a lob. Oh, lovely goal from Sunday. I think, was that a debut? He's staking his claim. What? It was only maybe his second game. Don't know where I got that from. And then we had a great game against Man United at the Emirates. I won't show you this, but Matty Cross here, another product of the Youth Academy, scoring a goal. Zuniga, he's a quality player. He just is a really, really good little player, that one. Really good game, really even, just settled by a piece of quality in the end. From that Cabani fellow, or Cabane, or whatever he's called. But we bounced back to beat Newcastle 3-1 at St James's. Sunday getting 2, and Picard getting his goal. I'll just show you these goals as well. I realised, you know, I probably should have showed you the United game, but no one wants to see a defeat. Do you? No, I'd rather show you the victories, because, you know, I really would just rather do that. There's Leon Wright, who of course I eventually sold. He was moaning at me for first team football, so I was like, alright, I'll give it a go. And he was okay when he first came in, but his performances really started to dip after the first game, and I do find that happens quite a lot. A lucky break for Picard there to score his first goal. He is on loan, incidentally. Him and Antonio, so both the left-sided players are on loan. So yeah, just a point on that. And also, I think we should probably, I probably should sign him, since he has been quite impressive. But right, as you can see, nice layoff there to Lay, passed it to Sunday, lovely finish. And also, as I say, Wright had a good start, like first game or two, but as is always the case, after the first 2 games, they might have a good game, but they'll just step off then. They'll just totally step off the gas and just not perform. So just be wary of that if you are looking for a player, to give first team football. And obviously, I don't think it helped the fact that he was injured. Short-term injuries, like really short-term injuries, like a week. The worst one, in my opinion, aren't the long ones. The ones where he's out for 3 or 4 months. I don't find them particularly difficult to manage. It's when they are injured for, like, say, 5 to 7 days, which is quite common. Like he's, I don't know what the injuries are. He stubbed his toe or something, and he's out for 5 days. The problem is then, because it is such a short amount of time, they still want, or they're in the mindset of getting first team football. So what happens is they're out for 1 game, and then they'll come back right after that game's finished, but they're not match fit, so you can't play them in the next game. I mean, obviously, if you have fitness on, then fair enough. He might be, but chances are he probably won't be. And that's 2 games he's missed, and because it was such a short injury, that probably, I don't think the game recognises that as an actual, like, he's missed the game because of an injury, if you get what I mean, because it was so short. And I've had players who've done that before, where they've been injured, and yet they still moan at me because they're not getting first team football. And it's like, you're not getting fucking first team football, dickhead, because you've been injured. What do you want me to do? It really is rubbish. Pedro Lima came off the bench to give us a victory over Fenerbahce then in the Champions League. This is how our table looked, and we won 6 out of 6. I was made up with this, especially when you consider we had to play Bayern Munich, who aren't all that great, but are still pretty damn decent. I mean, they knocked us out last year, so we're out for revenge. The other group was another team in the group was Sion, who have without a doubt the best badge on the game. Obviously, I've not got every single badge turned on, only the Premier League badges, since I don't really use many European teams. But Sion have the best badge. I just want to show like the cross and everything, like the shirts and stuff. Isn't that brilliant? I love that. It's pretty much accurate as well. It's probably the most accurate badge they've got without actually using the real one. Christoph gave us a victory over Bayern Munich in Germany. I was made up with that. And then played a young team against Sion. Got off to a terrible start, but Pedro Lima saved our bacon there with a penalty and an 88th minute winner. 4-1 then at the return leg. Velioglu scoring, Picard grabbing 2, and there's Vermeer maybe scoring his final goal, I think, for Arsenal. And then I think at that point we were already qualified, so it didn't really matter that these results. But still, we won them with Lima, Felipe, and Lay scoring. And then a great game at the end there with Gerrard scoring for Bayern, obviously not Steven, just to point out. Come on, it's a different spelling. And no, I know I had to say that because there's going to be someone in the comments who's obviously trying to be sarcastic, but sarcasm doesn't work over the internet, unfortunately. So we've got Lay, Lima, and Hristov scoring the goal. So yeah, excellent performance in the Champions League there. And then the first draw of the season, 2-2. Hristov scoring 2. Power having a good game. Picard though not so much. And then we lost to Swansea. This was a bit of a shock. Was not expecting this. If it ever wants to load it, there we go. Vermeer, poor game. That's one of the reasons why I was starting to get rid of them. And this guy, really not good enough. Really not good enough. Daniel Thompson, I thought maybe I could use him, but yeah, he is seriously not good enough. Played him with Ronnie Thomas at the back, and boy, was I made to regret that. Oh, yeah, look at that. Not only would to say he wasn't good enough, but just off this one game. I don't want to sound like I'm just judging him off the one game and saying, nope, he's shite, get him off. Like, not. It wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. He just isn't good enough. You saw his potential there, 1.5 star. That's not good enough for Arsenal. Come on. So, yeah, he's off. 3-0 then against Lincoln, a buoyant Lincoln there with Urena scoring. Look out for him. He's scored some quality goals. With Sunday also scoring. But I just want to show you these real quick because it actually... Alright, I'll come out and say it. I've played till the end of the season, and one of the goals you'll see here, guess which one ends up being goal of the season. Not just for Arsenal, but in the whole Premier League. Try and guess which one. So obviously it's not that from Sunday, but it's a lovely header. I swear to God it better be, but I'm pretty positive it is. I'm very positive. Yeah, I think it is. Right? So I look like an idiot if this isn't one of them. But Sunday nipping in there, so I think it is. I mean, look at that. Well, they've basically given us the goals. Yeah, this is the. Check out the Urena goal now. Watch this. I'm not even going to say anything. Just watch it. It's just a marvellous finish. Bradbury to hoof it, and first time. Oh, sweet as you like, and 52 metres that was. and he runs to the corner flag. He basically just ran the whole width of the pitch there. That got voted goal of the season, incidentally, yeah, so wonderful from the captain. Then we won 2-0, went back to the Amex and won again as we beat Brighton 2-1. Ureña scoring for the second game in a row, and so did Pius Sunday. He's been very, very good addition. Van den Bulk, though, another good performance from him. He's may not be getting his goals as regularly as I wanted to, but he's still putting in a good performance, and that's all I can ask for. And then a frustrating game at Tottenham. Really, really pissed me off, this one. Game looked dead and buried at 2-0, and there's Kyle O'Loughlin, as you can see, brought it back to 2-2. This was horrible. Really, really not nice. It was a breakaway. We've had a lot of breakaways, and it's mainly down to the two wingers of Diego Antonio, his pure pace, and Ian Lay is also quite responsible for that. Tottenham just giving us the goal there. With Hristov, obviously, he's never going to miss that. And Van den Bulk scoring penalty. Incidentally, I want to find out how many goals Andrei Hristov has scored. I probably should total that up. Incidentally, if you're wondering, what did Barry Wallace finish on for Liverpool? You won't believe it. He finished on 499 goals in all competitions. I mean, that's staggering for two reasons. One, 499, he was one away from 500. But two, 499. That's insane. I think that's more than Gerd Muller got for his club. I forgot who he played for. Who did Gerd Muller play for? Bayern? I checked the stats and it was like Gerd Muller scored so many. I'm pretty sure he scored more than Gerd Muller. I could be wrong. Actually, I think I am wrong. Maybe in the league. I don't know. I think if we take off his international stats, I think that's one thing. I took off his international stats. I think he ends up with about 440 goals if we include his international goals. But yeah, I mean, fair play to that O'Loughlin scoring there. So yeah, just a point on Wallace. I'll show you that at the end again if I remember. We lost to Wolves then in the Capital One Cup. That was a bit of a kick in the teeth. This Birol Chivalek was just blatantly not good enough, and Moorman put through his own net again, which was a pain. We then won though 2-1 at the Emirates to Forest. That didn't even make a change there. Look at that, with Antonio and Van den Bulk scoring. And then we had 2 4-1s in a row. We beat Sion 4-1, and we also beat Villa 4-1 with Pius Sunday coming from the right, playing on attacking right this time, scoring to Lay and Van den Bulk. I just want to show you Lay. Look at his acceleration and agility is 16, pace is 18, flares 16. Even his balance is still pretty decent. I mean, he's 22, and you know he's got a lot of the way to go. Where's he from? He's from Croydon, so yeah, he's proper Cockney lad. We had a decent draw then, I think, at Man City Stadium against City. Jonas Gensler scoring. He really is Dirk Kuyt incarnate. Is this guy 95th minute? He is like the man for the big occasion. Doesn't play a whole lot and isn't actually all that great. But let me tell you, he does not have come up with some big goals sometimes. I mean, you know, Dirk Kuyt, he is, I think, obviously coined as the man for the big occasion by the Liverpool commentator. I forgot his name, John Bradley. Who does the commentary for LFC away games on LFC TV. He always, anytime Dirk Kuyt, like he always used to score in the Champions League games, you know, like in a big game, like he scored at the Emirates, I think in one of the Champions League, he scored the winning penalty to put us through to the Athens final. Oh God, he scored in the capital in the Carling Cup final against Cardiff. Thought he scored the winner. He nearly did, and I think he scored his penalty in that final. But look at that, what a ball! What a ball that was, but what a finish as well. So I mean, obviously, well, German was off the field there. Would he have scored that if he was on? Van den Bulk with not a particularly good performance, but nevertheless, you know, 1-1. I'm not going to complain, especially with that late equaliser. And then a 3-0 victory over Chelsea was made up with this as Hristov scored 2 and Lima off the bench. 1-0 against Huddersfield, so we're getting into December now. 1-0 against Huddersfield. Van den Bulk scoring. Who else had a good game? The defence had a good game. The goalkeeper Rodriguez is probably going to be the number 1. I think Tony Perry's going to be end up going. You know, it's too difficult to keep hold of two decent goalkeepers at very relatively young ages for goalkeepers. You know, 30 is reasonably young. I've seen people call Pepe Reina getting on a bit. He's 30 years old. That is absolutely tiny for a goalkeeper. He could play for another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Look at Brad Friedel. Come on, give me a break. Where were we? Blackburn 4-1. Van den Bulk, Antonio and Ureña scoring. And Millwall 4-0. Vanderbilt scoring a hat trick. So I criticised him before. I don't know why. Oh, I know why I didn't make any subs. Because I've got it on key highlights, and I don't know what it is about the game, but they've cocked up the key highlights this year badly. It's not, you have to put it, of course, to extended. We found this in the early videos. If you look at the original Liverpool save I did on FM13, I was very confused, and like that's why the episodes are a lot shorter, even though the live commentaries they're like 8 minutes long. It's because I'm on key, not extended. It's stupid. So I did barely, and what happens is because I've got it set so quickly, it just zooms right to the end. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even have a chance to make a sub, but I've got them all on fitness training anyway, so it does not a big deal. But yeah, fair play to Vanderbilt there. Criticised him earlier, and he actually responded with a hat trick, so fair enough. And then we get into the Christmas period with a draw against Wigan. Juan Urena, sorry, didn't have a particularly good performance, not leading by example. And then a draw on Boxing Day to West Ham, as Dennis Vermeer definitely did play his last game for Arsenal as he got sent off. Well done, dickhead. But Juan Urena scoring once again, making amends at least for that poor Wigan draw. Now we played Cardiff, 1-4-1 with Picard, Vandenberg, Christoph and Velioglu all scoring there. And that's the last game of 2035, I think. And we move then to Anfield. So on my return to Anfield, we won 1-0. Peter Vandenberg. I'd like to think I would have been given at least a half-decent reception. I mean, that kind of tells the story. That tells Spielmacher's man of the match. You know, it really tells you the whole story. Vandenberg, though, did score. He did also miss the penalty. He also missed the penalty, which was a bloody... Oh, so annoying. Really should have made sure of it, but yeah, we were on the edge all the way through. And a really nice pass there from Abreu, who himself is from Liverpool, I just want to point out. That's got nothing to do with the fact that he's the most capped player this year. So yeah, he's from Liverpool, so that's fair play to him. And then we played Carlisle in the FA Cup third round. And drew 2-2. That is really crap. Again, another one where we just completely surrendered a 2-goal lead. It's only Hurst who is a player who's really broken through in 2036. Watch out for him in the next video. Quality player, 4.5-star potential. Really excited by him. And who else scored there? Ronnie Thomas also scored a penalty. I don't know why the centre-backs take penalties on this, but he did. Campbell Newton, which sounds like a town in America, scored the first one, and Greg Beattie equalising, because that was a pain in the ass, so we had to do another replay and for the third round. And we lost to Man United at Old Trafford, which was another pain in the ass, with Vandenberg our only goal there. But we thankfully won 1-0 at Brunton Park, with Pedro Lima scoring the goal in the 88th minute. 4 injuries. Let me just show you that. 4 injuries to Carlisle. They've had one shot and only one shot that was on target. And a horrendous game. West Brom 2-1 beat them. Sunday scoring his first goal for a while. I think he may have been injured. Yeah, he was. He was out for about 2 months or something. So yeah, Sunday was out, but he came back into scoring form with Vandenberg there. So he certainly took his place, and now hopefully they can work together and do well. We then drew with Lincoln, another sent to replay with another team here, but this time we did the role reversal, as Paulinho had a terrible game. He's also going to be leaving, I think, in the summer, possibly. Yeah, I think he is. But Jamie King, here's another one, 5-star potential coming through the Youth Academy, £3 million is value currently. He looks pretty decent. He can also play on the right. A lot of versatility there, you may notice. But I'll show you these goals. João Navia, you can see why I signed him though, can't you? You know, you've seen him appear in many goals scoring charts, and you know, he scored many times against me. Played a young team, as you can see. There's Woods. Incidentally, them two Woods, if you are wondering, are not related. As I say, one is Irish, one is German. But João Navia totally embarrassed Paulinho there. Awful moment for the Brazilian centre-back, and he incidentally, I fined him for this performance and he got very unhappy with it. I'm not being funny, you're getting ripped apart by Lincoln. No, I know Lincoln are good but come on. You've got to do better than that. But yeah, Jamie King there scoring his first goal. He's only 17, as I say. He's not the youngest ever goal scorer. I think I don't know who that is. I don't know. But lucky break for Christoph, and he's not going to miss that. So lovely goal there. But unfortunately, we couldn't hold on to it, as João Navia equalised in the 77th minute. Poor defending again. Should not allow him to take it down. I still don't understand why defenders do that. I did have get stuck in and hassle the opponents on. I don't know what else I've got to do. I mean, it's a slightly lucky break. Yes, that is a very lucky break, but they're all started because Joe Navia was allowed to take it down from that goalkeeper's punt. And I don't understand why some players just don't go in to win the 50-50s. It's an absolute pain in the arse. But we bounce back from a draw to win 2-1 against Newcastle with Antonio and Van den Bulk scoring. 3-1 against Swansea, so it was a bit of revenge from earlier, with Van den Bulk scoring a hat-trick by Sunday though. 6.7, not terrible, but not the greatest either. And I think that was the last game. And we are due to play Lincoln next in the FA Cup. So we'll see how we do there. And we'll just show you the player stats currently. I'll show you the managers and so on. Van den Bulk is there currently with 19 goals. So I said, I want to see 20 this season. I think he's virtually got that already. He's 6th in the average ratings. But look at that, top 3 all Man City players. Kind of sums it up really. Kraft, Taylor and Martin. One of my former players. Swine. Let's have a look at how that translates then into our team. So 20 goals for Van den Bulk in all competitions and 7 assists, 10 for Christoph, 9 so far for Sunday, but as I say, he's been injured, so please come a bit of slack. 7 for Lima and 4 for Picard and 4 also for Antonio. In terms of assists, Van den Bulk is also top there with 7, Picard with 6, Felipe with 6 and Antonio with 6 as well as Urena. So yeah, I think we're doing okay. Obviously still a bit of work to be done, but yeah, I think we're doing okay. So I'll show you a few players who've retired. Obviously we've seen Tej or Teo, whatever he's called, and Fabio, who is my director of football. But there's Barry Walsh, he finished. We all know about him now. Career stats, I know it says 406 goals. Obviously you've got to, it doesn't add up as international goals. Just want to point out, and also it doesn't take into account a few other things either. Yeah, I don't think it's taken into account his European and international goals, I think. So I know his club career he had 499 goals on top of like another 50 or 60 goals he scored for Scotland. So we also have him. We also have Kostrov. Quicker to press enter. He's also retired. So in the end, the player who's at the start of his soccer career was seen a bit of a villain, obviously being at Chelsea, but he came in, and had a fair amount of time at Liverpool in the end. Really, he actually spent. I think he was actually at Liverpool longer than he was at Chelsea, considering they paid £30 million for him, and I got him for basically nothing. Not basically nothing, literally nothing. His wages were still high, but but them two are managers. We'll see how interesting it is in a few years, or when the game actually throw these into management properly. We'll see, into the Premier League or whatever. Now, if I did show you, I can't remember exactly if I've shown you the managers or not in the last video. If I have, I do apologise, but I will show you it now again because I can. So what I'll do is go to here. It's quicker to do this, and I say I apologise if I have already shown you this, but it's always good to do an update. So let's just do by division, and these are the Premier League managers then. So see if anything's changed. Ryan Bennett at Wigan, Joe Walsh at Blackburn, McKinnon still at West Brom, he will be retiring at the end of the season. Sirigu at Chelsea, Joe Thompson, Villa, Solskjaer at Newcastle, Craig Dawson, former player of Brighton under my managership, is now the manager, which is really cool. He's actually doing a decent job. Alex Parks at Cardiff, Tommy Smith at Huddersfield, Mohamed or Mo Sharif or whatever he's called is at Liverpool now. He is I think he's a former City and United manager, which would not go down very well. Not United, sorry, he's a former just a City manager. Don't know why he would go from City to Liverpool. It does seem a bit strange. He also bought Tamwi. So yeah, he currently plays for, who's he played for? QPR. I don't know how good he'll be, but maybe we'll look back on this video in a few years and say, oh my god, really? He was a manager? That's the problem, it mixes them all up. That's really annoying. Joe Thornton at Lincoln, Charlie Granger at City, Stephen McGinn is at United. You can see them there, I don't need to spell them out for you. McGinn, let's see who's Stephen McGinn. I recognise his name from somewhere. He currently plays for Watford. I'll look out for him in the playoffs. I watched the playoff first leg against Leicester on tonight, which is the 9th of May, so obviously I don't know Also, I will be cheering on Brighton tomorrow, as I would like to see them in the Premier League. Of course, against the old rivals, Crystal Palace. That should be good. They're not my second team or anything. I just want to point out I don't have a second team. I don't believe in all that type of thing. So you support one team and that's it. And I'm all about your local team and all that, even though it is getting a little bit outdated now. But this is the overview of the world. Then this is how things look. So Real Madrid still top dogs if you want to go via major clubs there. Liverpool second, Arsenal climbing the table, Man United getting back up in there, Brighton slipping all times. Top players in the world. There's Alexi. Should have kept hold of him. Philly. I was going to make a horse joke there, but I think with all the with all the Finders horse meat stuff has kind of been overdone. I've won so many Manager of the Month awards lately. I don't know what it is. I've won 2 in a row now, and I've won 3. I don't understand how that's happened. Look at that. It's been Arsenal, United, City, United, Arsenal, Arsenal. Strange. And yeah, that's how the league looks. I don't think I've forgotten anything, so if I do, please, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm horrifically forgetful, so sorry about that. Thank you for watching. I will see you at the end of the season. Trust me, it's not one you want to miss. Take care. Bye bye.